The year was 1884. The vast, unforgiving expanse of the Atlantic Ocean held the stage for a drama as old as humanity itself. Survival. 4 men adrift in a lifeboat, their hopes dwindling with each passing day. Their ordeal, born of shipwreck and desperation, would become a crucible for the human spirit and a legal battleground for the ages. This is the story of R.V. Dudley and Stephens, a case that continues to haunt our conscience and challenge the foundation of justice. The courtroom became a battleground of conflicting principles. On one side stood the immutable law, unwavering in its condemnation of murder. On the other, the raw, primal instinct to survive. The defense argued that under such extreme circumstances, the law could be bent to accommodate the desperate need to survive. Dudley and Stephens, they argued, were desperate men thrust into an impossible situation. The prosecution, however, remained steadfast. Murder, they argued, was murder, regardless of the circumstances. The law must remain a constant and unwavering beacon even in the darkest of storms. The jury, caught in this moral and legal maelstrom, wrestled with a seemingly impossible choice. Could they condemn men who had acted out of sheer desperation, or did their duty to uphold the law necessitate a guilty verdict? The crux of the matter lay in the defense of necessity, a legal principle as old as civilization itself. It recognized that in certain extreme situations, the law could be set aside to prevent a greater harm, but the application of necessity was fraught with complexity. Could desperation ever truly justify the taking of an innocent life? The prosecution argued that the sanctity of life must remain paramount. The defense countered by appealing to the innate human empathy of the jury. The jury, after much deliberation, returned with a verdict guilty, the sentence death. However, the Crown commuted their sentence to 6 months' imprisonment. The decision did little to quell the debate that raged on. The legacy of R.V. Dudley and Stephens extended far beyond the courtroom. It became a landmark case, studied and debated by legal scholars and philosophers alike. It forced a reassessment of the boundaries of the law, prompting uncomfortable questions about the nature of justice and the limits of compassion. The case highlighted the inherent tension between the rigidity of the law and the fluidity of human experience. The spectre of R.V. Dudley and Stephens continued to loom large, a stark reminder of the complexities of justice. The echoes of R.V. Dudley and Stephens continue to resonate even today. The ethical dilemmas it exposed remain as relevant as ever, surfacing in legal cases, philosophical debates, and popular culture. From hypothetical thought experiments to real-life survival situations, the case serves as a reminder of the complexities in balancing individual survival against societal rules. The defense of necessity still finds itself at the heart of many contemporary debates. Cases involving self-defense, medical necessity, and civil disobedience often hinge on this principle. The advancements in medical technology have also breathed new life into the ethical dilemmas raised by R.V. Dudley and Stephens. Organ transplantation presents a modern-day parallel to the lifeboat scenario. The allocation of scarce life-saving resources necessitates agonizing choices. The case also finds resonance in contemporary discussions about climate change and its potential to create similar scenarios of resource scarcity and survival. As the planet grapples with these consequences, the ethical choices it represents remain relevant. The enduring power of R.V. Dudley and Stephens lies in its ability to force us to confront the uncomfortable grey areas of morality and justice. It compels us to ask, what would we do in a similar situation? Could we condemn those driven to such extremes? The case highlights the inherent subjectivity of morality and the limitations of the law. The debate is not about finding easy answers, but about engaging in a nuanced dialogue about justice and human endurance. It's about recognizing the humanity of all involved and tempering judgment with understanding. The verdict in R.V. Dudley and Stephens, while legally sound, did little to resolve the moral ambiguities at the heart of the case. It underscored the limitations of the law in addressing the complexities of human behavior under extreme duress. The case continues to spark debate about the nature of justification. Some argue that the actions of Dudley and Stephens were understandable given their desperate circumstances. They highlight the instinctual drive to survive, the primal urge that can override moral convictions. This perspective emphasizes the mitigating factors at play. Others contend that the defense of necessity should never justify murder. They argue that the sanctity of life is paramount, a principle that cannot be compromised. The debate is about acknowledging the complexities of human nature and the interplay of morality, law, and survival. It encourages us to delve into the grey areas of human experience and grapple with uncomfortable truths. The story of R.V. Dudley and Stephens is not confined to legal history. It continues to resonate, its themes of survival, morality, and the limits of the law as relevant today as they were in 1884. The case serves as a reminder that the human condition remains largely unchanged. The ethical dilemmas exposed by the case continue to surface in various contemporary contexts. From debates about the use of torture to discussions about the allocation of scarce medical resources, the fundamental questions raised by R.V. Dudley and Stephens challenge our notions of right and wrong. The case highlights the ongoing tension between individual rights and the collective good. From discussions about gun control to arguments about public health measures, the balance between personal autonomy and societal needs remains contentious. The enduring relevance of R.V. Dudley and Stephens lies in its ability to spark critical thinking and informed debate. It challenges us to confront the complex ethical issues that face us as individuals and as a society. The case serves as a reminder that the choices we make have the power to shape our destinies and the fate of generations to come. The passage of time has brought a shifting landscape of perspectives on the concept of necessity as a legal defense. While R.V. Dudley and Stephens established a firm precedent against its application in cases of murder, evolving societal values have led to a more nuanced understanding. The defense of necessity is now recognized as a necessary safety valve applied with extreme caution. Courts increasingly recognize that in exceptional circumstances, individuals may be compelled to break the law to prevent a greater harm. The evolution of medical ethics has also shaped contemporary understandings of necessity. The ongoing debate about climate change raises questions about the limits of the law and the moral imperative to survive. The legacy of R.V. Dudley and Stephens serves as a compass, guiding us through ethical dilemmas in our rapidly changing world. As technology advances and resource scarcity becomes a pressing reality, the need for a nuanced approach to these issues will only become more pressing. The case underscores the importance of fostering open dialogue and critical thinking about the ethical implications of our choices. It encourages us to move beyond simplistic notions of right and wrong and engage in thoughtful deliberation about the consequences of our actions. The lessons learned from R versus Dudley and Stephens extend far beyond the courtroom. They resonate in our personal lives, communities, and on a global scale. They are lessons about the fragility of human life, the complexities of moral reasoning, and the importance of empathy and compassion. As we navigate the uncharted waters of the 21st century, the story of R.V. Dudley and Stephens serves as a reminder of the power of our choices. May we strive to approach these challenges with wisdom, compassion, and a commitment to justice. The legacy of this landmark case demands nothing less.